Owls are still seen in some parks, on properties with spacious gardens, and around recreational areas such as golf courses. But as more and more open spaces disappear and are displaced by bricks and mortar, those that do survive have had to adapt to city life. And today, you'll find them nesting in the most unusual spots. Not everyone is happy about having owls around though, and sometimes the spot they've chosen to nest in is not a safe one either. That is when the likes of Jonathan of Eco Solution is called in. Opang Kuna of Brits is worried about a pair of barn owls that he sees often around his house.
Over there, and then next time they'll come and perch and take a position up here.
How long have they been here for?
I think it's about the third month now.
3 months.
Yeah.
Hello, this is your house. Come.
Most of the owls removed from different places are taken to the Johannesburg Zoo and then released into areas where owls have all but disappeared.
We've got quite a number of owls at Joburg Zoo, of a number of species, but we do get a lot of barn owls that come in. Owls, when they hunt, they often fly low over the road, and because of that they're quite prone to car accidents. And where possible, we do patch them up, and where possible release them.
Most owl species are nocturnal and are therefore not often seen. These silent hunters live on a diet of rats and mice, which they also feed to their chicks. A pair of barn owls that has 5 chicks will need to catch about 20 rodents every night to feed them. In the urban areas, they normally nest on roofs, chimneys, and even on balconies, because there are not enough breeding sites around. Some traditional people still believe it is a bad omen when an owl perches on top of a house and hoots. To them, this is the messenger of death. Lady Skosana of the South African traditional health practitioner says at least this is not true in her culture, but the owl's body parts do have special medicinal uses.
The bad of it, I really don't know it. Because I, as a traditional leader, I use something from an owl, a dead owl. I use something from the owl. Even the child, if he or she doesn't sleep at night, we use the feathers and a little fat from an owl and bend for the child so that she can get the rest and sleep.
Sadly, owls are still being severely persecuted and killed in many parts of Africa, if not out of fear, then for the muti trade. But that is not their only nemesis. Many people are killing off owls without even knowing it.
Areas like these are usually the breeding ground for vermin like rats and mice. And of course, along with that goes the use of all kinds of poisons in an attempt to eradicate these pests. But now recently here in Sebokeng, a project has been launched which discourages the use of poisons and introduces owls into the area.
The project took off under the supervision of Jonathan Hall, together with the Emfuleni local municipality, the Department of Education, and the professional assistance of Eco Solution. For the purpose of this project, they are focusing on barn owls. According to Jonathan, schools are the best place for them to put up owl boxes, and it is usually barn owl chicks that are introduced into the community.
That is a baby barn owl. Yeah? Catches mice. Yeah? Kundwan.
The learners will be feeding the chicks until they can hunt on their own.
We've had some owls that have stuck around schools for 3 or 4 months, which is sort of keeping with the surrogate parent program in a way, where they fly around and the kids feed them.
It's been a couple of hours now. Okay, so
now he's
like
kind of
how?
used to it. Like, I don't remember. Like,
Okay.
it was like, something like that. Something like
And then he'd respond.
yeah.
Jonathan does not expect that all the chicks will make it to maturity. Those that do live are an added bonus, but their survival is not the only objective.
These owls, these young owls, in a way, they come into rehabilitation centres. They're almost they're part of a natural mortality, and we become their life support system in a way. So their role in this project is, I don't think that the release of these owls, I think that we will have ringed owls arriving back at boxes and schools and things, and we will see them in the future. But I don't think that they're really going to make that much difference to the population densities in these areas. I think their real kind of goal is the educational aspect that they bring. These kids feeding these baby owls it kind of leaves this indelible mark on them.
Yes.
And that education is going to go out there and provide our friendly environment.
It is hoped that learners will also educate adults around the importance of owls in sustaining the environment. Learners at Laerskool D.F. Malherbe in Van der Bijl Park near Sebokeng are also spreading owl awareness to the community.
Die hele gemeenskap is betrokke by hierdie ding, want almal het geweet, die oomblik toe Jonathan met die eile kom en vir die kinders vertel, moenie rateks gooi nie, toe word die ouers gesê, hey, moenie rateks gooi nie, pa, want dit gaan ons skool se eile doodmaak. So die hele gemeenskap word ingetrek in die projek, en vir die kinders beteken dit baie, want dis die naaste wat hulle ooit aan 'n lewendige uil gekom het. Hulle het hulle nie regtig geken nie, hulle het geweet, eile maak hoe in die nag en maak kinders bang, maar nou sien hulle, eile maak nie bang nie, hulle sit vir hulle en kyk as hulle skool gaan, die wysheid van die uil, kyk as die kinders besig is om te leer, jy weet, so, baie belangrik vir die kinders.
For a project like this to be successful, financial backing is a necessity. Fortunately, companies in Van der Bijl Park rose to the challenge.
Ons in elke skool kan uile opsit en ons kan in die proses ook 'n groot gesondheidsprobleem vir hulle oplos. Dan is ons baie gelukkig as ons dit op daai manier kan doen.
Hoekom spesifiek die uilprojek?
Ek dink dis 'n samewerking tussen almal. Daar's die besighede wat bydra en daar is dan die gemeenskap wat die voordeel kry.
Areas like this informal settlement in Orange Farm, just a few kilometers outside Vereniging in Sebokeng, are most suitable hunting grounds for owls. But the community here still use poison that they buy from the local flea market to kill rats and mice. This poison is obviously sold illegally, as according to law, all pesticides and poisons have to be sealed and labeled. The Poison Working Group of the Endangered Wildlife Trust and BirdLife South Africa is perturbed about the indiscriminate use of such poisons.
Secondary poisoning is rife in the case of a chemical like this LD-carb because the chemical is extremely toxic. The lethal dose is 1 milligram per kilogram of body weight of any animal. So if you kill a rat with this stuff and the rat dies there somewhere close to rodenticide, an owl comes along or a cat or a dog or even a human being comes along and they eat this, there's a very good chance of that animal or the secondary feeding picking up the native or the natural chemical and then also getting poisoned by the chemical, and that's where the secondary poison risk comes along.
The owl project in Sebokeng is a 5-year project and has been running for almost 3 years, and it has done very well. So far, no owl poisoning incidents have been reported either.
It works quite well. I mean, essentially people could buy owl boxes and things like that, but now we're running it as a project where we actually go around, we look at the tree, we install the box ourselves, we monitor it as part of a database that we keep. There's newsletters and talks, and a lot of these things have to run hand in hand with education. And I think that's a lot of their success will be through the education as much as through the owl box. People come through to talks, they learn about rat poisons, what rat poison they can use, which rat poisons they can't use, and just a general, more environmentally friendly way of managing a suburban garden.
Each pair needs to have sufficient hunting space, so when the boxes are installed, territorial range sizes are considered. No other owl boxes are installed within established territories.
Currently we've got boxes running through Wanderers Golf Course and Field and Study Centre, Parkview Golf Course, Houghton Golf Course. They've all got boxes in, and those are going to be almost reservoirs from where these young owls that use these boxes will fledge, and they'll move into suburban gardens and take occupancy on the suburban garden, in the suburban garden boxes.
This is truly a test of survival, of nature against urban development.
Those of you who might be interested in having an owl box in your schoolyard or home garden can contact Jonathan.